Hi, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. This is the project we're making today. Isn't it pretty? Okay, so here's the supplies. We've got old olive cardstock and it measures 11 by 5.5. We've got Trim in the Town Designer Series paper that measures 3.5 by 3.5. We've got some Whisper White and some silver foil, okay? So we're gonna start out with our stamping. We're using 2 ink pads, Mossy Meadow and Old Olive. And the stamp set that we're using today is Warm Hugs with the Warm Wraps dies. This is the Warm Hugs bundle, okay? I'm gonna start with the Mossy Meadow and I'm gonna stamp the outline of the tree. And I'm actually gonna stamp it a couple times just in case I mess up. Okay, so I'm done with the Mossy Meadow. Now we're gonna take the Old Olive and we're going to stamp the next image right there. And then we're going to take the solid part of the tree and ink that up with Old Olive. I'm a little bit crooked, so let's see if this one will work. A little bit crooked. Third time's the charm. Okay, so now we're going to take our dies. So I've got this one, and this one, and this one, okay? So I'm going to slide everything over and get the cut and emboss machine. Okay, I'm going to open this up. I'm using plate 1 and 2. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to cut 2 of these at the same time. So I'm going to place that one there. And then I want to cut out the tree right here. I think that looks pretty good. Here's this image. And then we have our tree. Now we're going to cut out the silver foil piece. That is, I believe, a 2.5 inch square, or 2 inch square, I should say. Okay, so we're going to take this piece here and we are going to add some adhesive to it. Okay, so now we're going to take my silicone craft sheet and we're just going to add a little bit of Stampin' Seal, whatever your favorite adhesive is. I didn't want to get adhesive on my grid paper, so that's why I'm using the silicone craft sheet. Okay, so I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and pick up one of these mini dimensionals and place the tree, whoops, in the center, just like that. Okay, that's ready. So now I'm going to take some scrap paper here. This is our metallic edge ribbon. It's Whisper White, and we are going to use our light Old Olive marker to color the ribbon. So any color of blends that we have, that's the color that you can color your ribbon. This is an alcohol-based marker, so that's why it works. Our Stampin' Write markers would not work because they are water-based ink. These are alcohol. Okay, let that dry for a few minutes. Now we're going to take our Old Olive piece. I'm going to place it on the 5.5 inch side, which is the portrait side, and I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. And then I'm going to turn it and do the exact same measurement. So 1/2 inch and 1 inch. I'm going to turn it on the landscape side and I'm going to score it at 3.5, 4, 7.5, and 8. Okay, so I'm going to take my Stampin' Trimmer. You have one side that measures 3.5 inches. So from this line to this line, that measures 3.5. This side down here only measures 3 inches, okay? So the side that is the longest, you want at the bottom of your trimmer. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut from this score line here all the way up. So we're going to line that score line right in the track, okay? And then we're going to bring our cutting blade down to that first line and go up. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So line up that score line in the track, line this up with that score line, and cut. Now we're going to take our scissors and completely remove that section on both sides, okay? I'm going to angle cut this piece here and down here, and then the same thing over here. There will be a box template over on my website to show you where to cut and score and where to add your adhesive. So now we're going to fold on all of our score lines and burnish with our bone folder. I'm going to lay this flat for just a second so that you can get a good view of that. I know sometimes you guys have asked me to go slower, so there you go. Okay, so I'm going to finish folding and burnishing on those score lines. I have found that it's easier to do this after you use the trimmer to cut those sides. You could use your scissors if you want. It just gives you a straighter line. Since it's a really long line, that's a long distance to go cutting a straight line. Okay, so this bigger section down here, this is the inside of our box, and this is the flap that's going over. So this is the top, and that's where our designer series paper is going to go. Now you can see that measures the exact same size, maybe a hair off. You could cut it 1/8 of an inch smaller, and then you just have just a border, okay? Maybe I should have done that to show a different version of this, but it's okay. It'll be okay. Making sure my trees are going in the right direction because we do not want upside down trees, right? See, just a smidge right there. So you can trim those with your scissors or not. It's not that big of a deal if you leave it. It's just a hair. There you go. See? Now we're going to place tear and tape on these 2 strips right here. While I'm adding this, don't forget there's a free PDF over on my website that has all the measurements and pictures as well, and a template. Okay, let me get my Take Your Pick tool again. I'm just going to do one side so that I don't mess up, even though I didn't mess up yesterday on this box. You never know. Okay, there we go. Now this side. Okay, now here is our box. Now let me show you the things that'll fit in there. A little mini charm square fits in there. See? Perfectly. Doesn't make it poofy in the middle. A little tape measure that I got at Hobby Lobby fits perfectly in there. Little frog. Some extra gum fits in there. A gift card will fit in there. Let me grab that. Okay, so here's a gift card that fits in there. Oh, a gift card and a tea bag and a hand sanitizer. So the box measures, let's see, it measures 3.5 by 3.5, okay? So all those items will fit in there, even a snack size bag of Skittles. Now what we're gonna do is take that ribbon that we just colored. Oh, you know what? You need to take your bone folder and burnish this. I should have done that before I assembled the box. So once you add your designer series paper, take your bone folder and burnish that. So I kind of skipped that step. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we're going to place it inside our detailed trio punch, and we're going to round the corners just like that. Okay, so we're going to take this ribbon, and this is what's going to hold your box closed. And also I use 23 inches because this is one of those projects where they either are going to have to untie the ribbon or they're going to slide the ribbon off. So the ribbon will slide off at the top, or they can just retie it by leaving it a little bit long. That will allow you to untie it and retie it, okay? So we want to add some embellishments now. Okay, so we want to add some bling, even though the ribbon has some in it. If there's a spot to add a rhinestone, I'm going to add a rhinestone. Okay. Now I'm just going to attach that right there. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of adhesive right here. Not a lot, just enough for it to slide under the ribbon. You could use a glue dot, you can use a dimensional, and just slide it right under there. Okay, so there you have it. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks a lot.